Okay, Johnny, you told me your name was tell me your name again.
What you could do, John,
Yep.
right after the interview,
Yeah.
turn around and look over the top of your head.
Yeah. And?
That's when I was in.
Okay.
Not in uniform, but was taken at Camp Archungelo, North Carolina.
Very good.
See it?
I will here in a minute. All right. I got to pull back on that a little bit.
See?
Is that you?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Handsome devil, aren't you?
Huh?
Handsome devil, aren't you?
I was kind of. Always wanted to be a movie star.
All right. Tell me your name, your whole name.
Sebastian.
What is it?
Sebastian.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay. Sebastian.
Joseph.
Joseph.
Archungelo. Archungelo.
Archangelo. Gelo.
Archangelo would have known.
Okay. And people call you Johnny.
Yeah, because they couldn't say my name down here, so I use a stage name called Johnny Royal.
Johnny Royal. Okay.
Yeah, they couldn't say my name.
Okay. When were you born, Johnny?
Born?
What's your when? Your birthday?
4/11/38.
All right. Okay, Johnny, keep this with your stuff. Keep this with your stuff. This says that you were interviewed today. You are on tape number 40.
Okay.
And this tape is on the shelf. This tape will be on the shelf at the Portsmouth Public Library.
Well.
So 100 years from now, your great-great-greats can go down, check you out. Okay?
And my kids, you're right.
Yeah. Exactly. You told me your name and you told me your birth date. Where were you born?
I was born in a little town in below Scranton, Pennsylvania, called Old Forge, Pennsylvania.
Okay. And but obviously you live here now in Portsmouth, Ohio.
Yeah. Well, I've been coming down here probably for the last 50 years.
What's your address here?
I live in Wheelersburg, post office box 473 in Wheelersburg.
Okay. Are you retired or what's your occupation?
I'm retired. I have a disability with the government, military, and I also disability with just retired
From work. Okay.
Right.
What kind of how much education did you have?
Well, I graduated high school in Wilmington, Delaware, and had 2.5 years at Drexel Institute of Technology.
Okay.
Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia? Okay. What kind of employment did you get involved in?
Right after the service?
Uh-huh.
Well, right after the service, I went to work for Chrysler Corporation in Newark, Delaware.
Okay.
And I worked on the assembly line as a door fitter.
Mm-hmm.
In them days, back in early 1960, I believe it was, 61. We got paid $3.75 an hour, which is probably tops.
Tops.
High-paying job.
You were at the top of the pay range.
And we were getting about $9. Not $9. We were getting 9 hours a day, so
okay.
a little overtime.
Well, you're making a lot of money then.
Oh, I had the first 24-inch color TV on the block.
At this point in your life, are you married, single, divorced, widowed, separated, all of the above, or what?
Well, I'm not a widower, that's for sure.
Okay, we can leave that one out.
Married 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
First wife was from Chester, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and we had 3 children.
Okay.
Second wife was from Wilmington, Delaware, and we had 2 children.
Mm-hmm. Third wife?
Present, no children, been married longer than the other 2.
All right, very good. You told me you had children. Now, your first 3 children, what are their names?
Oh, we have my daughter, who's the oldest. Her name is Linda,
Uh-huh.
and Joseph is the second, and Darren is the youngest.
Is Joseph a junior?
Well, it's not Sebastian, it's Joseph Todd,
Okay.
Archungelo. He's on the police force in the Wilmington, Delaware area.
Okay. And your other 2 children, then, what are their names?
From my second
Uh-huh.
wife, we have Jason, and we have Michael.
So we have Linda, Joseph. Did you tell me the other?
Darren,
Darren. Linda, Joseph, Darren, and
Jason, and Michael.
and Michael.
There's 5.
There's 5 children that you have. And they have children?
Yes.
How
I
many
have
children?
my grandfather.
Okay. You are are you a great grandfather?
No, not yet. Hopefully. My daughter has 2.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, she has 3.
Mm-hmm.
We just came back from seeing the little baby. Samantha.
Mm-hmm.
And she has Lauren and Vincent.
Okay. And Linda is she work or house person?
She's a housekeeper, but she's done attorney work.
Okay.
Not an attorney, but she worked for several attorneys in the Massachusetts area.
Now, Joseph, does he have children?
But he's got 2 boys.
Mm-hmm.
They're both on the wrestling teams. They're both boys for scholarship wrestlers, both colleges that they went to.
Right. And he is a police officer.
Yes.
He's the police officer.
And Darren is a teacher, physical education teacher in the Wilmington area.
Does he have children?
Yes, he has 2.
Okay. And what are their names? Do you know?
Uh,
Didn't know there'd be a test, did you? You didn't know there'd be a test, did you?
No, that's okay.
I like to get a timeline here.
I understand.
Uh-huh.
We have. You asked me too quick.
Okay. If you think about it later, let me know.
I will.
Okay. Now the fourth child was named
Michael.
Michael. Does he have children?
No.
Okay. And then the 5th child was named
Well, actually, the 4th child was Jason.
Jason.
And the 5th child was Michael.
Michael.
He's the youngest boy of everybody.
Okay. Does Jason have children?
No, Jason's a special boy. He's got cerebral palsy.
I see. How about Michael? What does he do?
Michael works for, well, he started off working for lens crafters, and he started his own business in the optical business.
Okay. Now let's go in the other direction. What was your father's name?
My father's name was Sebastian Bertie Archungelo.
What was your mother's name?
Maiden or,
Tell me all of it.
well, Mary Angeli was her maiden name.
Angeli. Okay. Do you know your grandparents' names?
Yes.
Okay. What was your father's parents' names?
Well, my father's father was a Sebastian also, and my grandmother's name was Veronica.
Okay.
That was on my father's side.
What was her maiden name?
I don't know.
Okay. Now on your mother's side, what was
Yeah.
your mother's father's name?
His name was Felix Angeli,
Felix Angel.
and my grandmother's name was Sebastiana
Okay. What was her maiden name?
Silvestri.
Silvestri. Silvestri, Anna Silvestri. Okay. Is it? This is Italian?
Yeah.
Or okay.
That was her last name, Silvestri.
Are they the ones that came from Italy, or who?
Yes. My mother came when she was 1, and my father's parents came, and my mother's parents came from Italy.
Okay.
From this Tuscany region of Perugia,
Have you
northern part of Italy.
have you been over there?
I've been to Italy, but I've never went to the birthplace where the roots started.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: did you you were in the Marines?
Yes.
Did you enlist, or was that a time that they were drafted?
No, I enlisted.
Okay. When did you enlist?
I enlisted in August of 1956, right after high school.
I see. Okay. And you went to boot camp,
Paris Island.
Paris Island. Everybody go. And how long were you in the Marines?
I was in 3 years.
Mm-hmm. What was your rank when you got out?
PFC.
Okay. So you went to Paris Island, and how long was boot camp then?
3 months.
What was that like?
It's a story.
Well, that's what we're interested in.
Well, boot camp at Paris Island, with the guys that when I went through there, was not like what it is today. I think for the first 3 weeks, you were praying that you woke up in your bedroom at home.
Are you saying it was tough?
Well, you can call it what you want. I do it all again.
You would.
Oh, absolutely. But you just didn't believe it was real, what was going on. That you didn't know where you were.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they molded you into a fine human being after you come off the streets in city life, they did a marvelous job.
Tell me a story
Tell you
about
a story.
boot camp. Mm-hmm.
Boot camp?
Tell me a story about boot camp.
Well, boot camp. In the 50s, as you well know, I think a lot of areas were segregated at the time, and we had 7 blacks in our platoon. But of course, that didn't affect me coming from the north because we didn't know anything like that. But down in Paris Island, nobody had a color. The drill instructors made sure of that.
Mm-hmm.
They were your mother, your father, and priest. I didn't give a damn what color you were.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, me being Italian, of course, I got called everything but white, and so did the blacks be called everything but black,
Mm-hmm.
and so on and so forth. But like I said, there was no color. Everybody was the same.
What would happen when some of the black guys went into town?
Well, when I was there, the black guys used to go to their own side of town. They couldn't stay. They couldn't go where we went and had liberty, like say in Jacksonville, North Carolina, used to be the liberty place. Are you talking about after we left boot camp, of course, right?
Yeah.
We didn't get no liberty.
You didn't get any liberty in boot
no,
camp?
absolutely not.
Okay.
Paris Island was 3 straight months of complete militarizing your brain,
Mm-hmm.
and actually learning how to die
Mm-hmm.
and how to depend on the guy next to you.
Well, then after your 3 months, you graduate from boot camp.
Went to advanced infantry training.
Where was that?
That was in Jacksonville, North Carolina.
That was in Jacksonville. Okay.
Uh,
But did you have some leave in between boot?
Anyway.
Did you have any liberty between boot camp and?
It was a 30-day leave right after we graduated from boot camp.
Did you go home?
Going home.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Your folks recognized you, and
Well, I was about 30 pounds lighter,
uh-huh.
and I had a head that was bigger than the state of New York.
What do you mean? You could whip anybody?
Huh?
You mean you could whip anybody?
Well, not the fact that you could whip anybody, but the fact that, it's like the doctor's motto, don't threat on me,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So, no, it was probably the proudest feeling you could ever feel when you attained that goal, graduated from Paris Island.
When you graduated, were your folks there?
No, some people came. My folks were waiting for me when I got off the train and went me to Delaware.
Mm-hmm. Did you have brothers and sisters?
I've got 2 sisters.
Okay. So after your leave, are you married at that time? You're not married at that
No,
time.
of course not. No, I didn't marry. I had a girlfriend from high school.
Okay. What does a young Marine do, unmarried, when he goes on liberty?
Well, I'll say it like this drill instructor said to us when we graduated.
Uh-huh.
He said, I've been in this Marine Corps for 18 years. He says, and you all here that graduated today think you're Marines. He says, well, I'm still not a Marine. I've been in 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get out of this boot camp and graduate feeling and think you guys are Marines. He said, a good start would be is go out and get drunk. Did you say anything?
Say anything.
You cut it, right?
Exactly. I won't.
You have to. He said, you got to go out and get drunk, piss down both legs, throw up all over yourself, knock on your girlfriend's door, and say, let's go to dinner. He said, that's the beginning.
And what did you do?
I've never done it, of course.
Okay, of course.
But, you know, they sort of, you're kind of a proud person when you come out of there. It's a feeling that you never would ever get anywhere else. I've never had any other kind of training like that in my life.
Well, in Jacksonville now, as you're doing your advanced infantry training,
Right.
Is that correct? How long was that?
That was another 3 months, and then you were assigned a permanent duty station.
Okay. After that 3 months, then what happened to you?
Well, I was assigned to 2nd Recon, which was located right on Camp Geiger, and they were...
Was that Jacksonville area, Camp
yes,
Geiger?
Camp Geiger's right outside of it. And they were the elite force of the Marines, one part of the Marine Corps of the elite force. We had our own submarine, we had our own airplane, we had our own ship. And there was only 103 of us. Or a company. And from underwater demolition to jump school in Fort Benning, Georgia, to pack finding school, map finding school.
Did you go through all this
All
training?
of that.
Okay.
Recon.
Did you get your jump wings then?
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we were a specialized force that probably like your frogmen today or your Navy frogmen today, back in the 50s. Right at Tara Silent, 1956, Castro was overrunning Cuba, and of course supported by the United States. Everybody was wearing beards and Castro hats then, if you can remember. He had put out a letter to the Commandant of the Marine Corps that any non-commissioned officer in the Marine Corps that would join him in Cuba, he would immediately make an officer and pay him $300 a week.
Did anybody take him?
I have no idea, but it sounded pretty good.
Sounded good, didn't it?
Especially if you were a soldier of fortune.
You must have been having some people thinking about it at least.
Oh, I'm sure some went. I'm not, I really am. I couldn't go because I wasn't a non-commissioned officer. You got to be a corporal or above.
Okay. Well then, you had your own submarine as a recon team? You had a ship? What? Where were you assigned then?
Well, when we went overseas the first time, we, of course, made that landing on Turkey. And the name of the submarine was called the USS Sea Lion. And I'm trying to think of the ship's name was the USS Kleinsmith.
Kleinsmith.
Kleinsmith. It was a destroyer escort converted to put Marines on. It was quite a unique outfit. I didn't stay with that outfit.
Well, why though did you land in Turkey?
When?
Why?
It was a friendly assault force on the shores of Turkey since some time back in the Second World War, or maybe the First World War. We landed in a place called Izzi-Taitaken. And at night, you could see the Russian ships in the Black Sea having maneuvers. You could see the flashes from their guns. So that's how close we were. I don't know. I guess it was a show of force. Admiral Brown was the chief man at the Navy, then at the fleet. They were killing Americans in Lebanon then that were going inland. We landed in Lebanon after Turkey.
How long were you in Turkey?
Probably about a month.
So from Turkey, did you go straight around then to Lebanon?
Lebanon,
Okay.
and that was funny because when we landed in Lebanon, full marching gear, combat, people were on the beaches swimming and umbrellas, bringing us submarine sandwiches, and
Oh, really?
food, and everything. We didn't have any ammunition. No ammunition in the house. I don't know who the sheik was at the time, but he made a statement to Admiral Brown that he could go down and wipe all the Marines off the beach. He said, get rid of them.
How many of you were there that landed in Lebanon then at that time?
The Lebanon landing was probably, that was the 6th week.
Okay.
Marines were, I don't know, 24, 27 fleets, 27 waves.
Okay.
It was a tremendous landing, and also in Turkey.
And there you were without any ammunition.
Wouldn't give us no ammunition.
Show of force, though.
They wouldn't give us any. So no, you didn't need any turkey. I'll tell you, we landed in Turkey. I talked to a few Turks. Of course, you couldn't speak the language. But the way, and it's amazing some of the old weapons that they had compared to what we were using, right? I said, I'm glad these guys are on our side because they were tough-looking guys. I'll
Really?
tell you. Oh, yeah.
Fierce.
They were nice people. If you give them something, they have to give you something back. You couldn't refuse it. You know, like, if I gave you some, no, it's okay. I don't, you know. And go ahead and take it. You take it. They have to give you something, or you insult them. So we used to exchange different things. Yeah, it was fun.
So how long were you in Lebanon then?
Lebanon was probably about a month and a half.
Okay. When did you leave the recon team?
I left recon we could back up that first Med cruise.
Okay. Now, when you left Lebanon after about a month, where did you go? Did you come back to the States or what?
No, we went. I went to Barcelona, Spain, and then we went to Gibraltar. I'm not giving you a right line, but then we went to Palermo, Sicily, Messina, Sicily, and Athens, Greece. Piraeus was another place, and the island of Crete. Landed on the island of Crete. That was a fun thing.
Was it?
Those guys went up, way up in the hills. They found old skeletons and helmets of the old 88 Panzer Division, or Hitler's jump team, you know. Found them up in caves. They're coming back with souvenirs. I didn't go up. I didn't make that.
You didn't get any souvenirs?
No, I didn't get any. But they did. They came back with actual
Lugers and helmets? And
I didn't see any guns. Mostly helmets and swords. They found some swords.
Okay. How did, when you went to these places, Spain, Italy, Greece, Athens, how did the people treat you?
Fantastic. The only problem with the Marines and the Navy at those days, when the Marines were landing, they would take the original menu and stick it underneath a counter and bring out a high-priced menu and put it on the top.
They had two menus.
Yeah, one for the Navy because the Navy was cheap, and the Marines, they knew the Marines spend the money, so
Spend it all.
they spend it all.
Okay. Well, then you were at Crete, and
That was a fun place. It's
Okay.
like, put you in mind of Florida. They had a lot of pomegranates, Pomeranian, you know, pomegranates growing, oranges, grapefruits. And the kids on the island wanted our cardboard, like from the sea rations and stuff. They would make shoes out of it.
Oh.
And I would give them all the cardboard and everything they needed. So I was in charge of all the sea rations at that time. And a fellow came up to me and he had a Browning automatic shotgun, 12 gauge. And he couldn't work it. You know, it has that little thing on the side where you pull it. And, well, if you worked an M1 rifle, if you let that bolt fly, it locks the chamber and you can pull the trigger. What was happening is his wasn't going forward. So I took the gun and everybody was around, closed the little shot, I pulled the trigger. Bang! Everybody hit the ground.
Okay.
Anyway.
Did it work after that?
Oh, yeah. His brother sent it to him for the States.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, he was grateful to you then, wasn't
Oh, he was tickled to death. You know, he was tickled to death.
All
So,
right.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. Well, everybody seemed to be real nice as far as their attitude towards the Americans those days.
Well, then did you go back to the States?
Yes, then we
Okay.
came back to the States.
Okay.
I didn't go back again
You didn't go back to... Okay.
overseas. Then I changed outfits. And
Who were you with then?
I went with 2nd Anglico. It was Air Naval Gun Liaison Company.
Okay.
Anglico.
Anglico.
Up at Courthouse Bay, Camp Lejeune.
Uh-huh.
A little base.
What did you do?
Believe it or not, I became a butcher.
A butcher. Well, they need butchers.
They need a butcher. I got tired of running the 13 miles every Thursday and back and doing all that good stuff.
Butchering is much better.
Well, I don't know about that. Some of those sides of beef get up to 300, 250 pounds, 280
Okay.
pounds. You got to carry them off the trucks.
When you were with the recon team, what did you do? What was your job?
I was straight rifleman, and I took care of all the sea rations and stuff.
When you say a rifleman, you had an M1.
Yeah, that was mine.
Okay. And then how long were you with the Angelo?
2nd Anglico.
And
I was with them the rest of my time, probably about 14 months.
okay. Did you bring any? Do you have any souvenirs from the time you were in the Mediterranean, that area?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I picked up 2 barrel handle Berettas, 25 caliber Berettas in Italy.
Yeah.
I lost them in a poker game on a ship.
Oh man.
So that's
How could you do that?
that's all I ever had a hold of.
Oh God. Some guys got your Berettas.
They got them.
While you were in the Marines, did you ever see anybody famous?
Yeah, I met Ricky Nelson in the Marine Corps at the Tobacco Festival in Kingston, North Carolina. Matter of fact, I sang with him.
Did you?
Ray Anthony, his wife, Mamie Van Doren, and I sang on stage at the Tobacco Festival
No kidding.
in Kingston, North Carolina.
With Ricky Nelson.
Oh yeah, I became very good friends with Ricky Nelson after that.
Is that
No
right?
matter where he played, I'd go see him, and I'd just yell at the stage door, and he says, "Come on up, John." They used to call me Angelo. "Come on up, Angelo." You know, and I'd go, "Yeah." Ricky and I
Okay.
were friends a long time.
Mamie Van Doren.
That was Ray Anthony's wife.
Yeah.
He had made me an offer to go to New York after I got out of the Marine Corps, pursue my singing career, and I never did.
You didn't.
No, I never did.
What did you do? I mean, at that point, you've got to choose to go or not.
I stayed in the Marine Corps. I mean, I had to finish my time.
Right.
And then after that, I just didn't go.
Where did you go? What did you do after that?
I went into the Chrysler Corporation.
Chrysler Corporation.
And
Okay.
it's singing nightclubs and bars. That's where I got the name Johnny Royal.
All right. So you'd work at the Chrysler in the day and have a job or singing in the evening.
At certain clubs that people knew me, but I didn't stay at Chrysler that long. The first layoff they had for after a year and a half, I said to myself, I can't make it in this world. I'll come back to this car factory. I went on to other things.
Like what?
Well, I got involved with food, matter of fact. I got into a deli chain, I managed a delicatessen chain for maybe 2 years. Then I opened up my own deli.
Uh-huh.
And did
Where was that?
Wilmington, Delaware.
Okay.
I did that for a couple of years, too young. Left that.
What do you mean too young? To eat
Well,
up your profits?
Well, the thing is, the money was there, but the confinement, 7 days a week, making all, we made all our own stuff. Sausage, and made our own hamburgers, our own meatballs, everything, you know. Just looked, 26, I think, at the time.
You had to move on.
There had to be bigger and better things. From there, things went different ways. I got involved with the trades. Iron workers, sheet metal mechanics, pipe fitters. I did all of them. I carry an operating engineer's book that I don't use. But I did that for quite a bit. That's where the big money was.
Yeah.
And followed that, left there, and
did you work on any famous buildings or bridges or anything?
Yeah.
Like what?
I worked on a Delaware Memorial Bridge.
What was it?
At the Delaware Memorial
Oh,
Bridge
yeah.
in New Jersey. Laid the decking down up there.
Okay.
And that was fun, with the iron workers.
Yeah.
Worked at the Getty oil plant up in Delaware City, Delaware, as a pipe fitter. And, worked at the General Motors plant in Ellesmere, Delaware, big GM plant they were building then, as a sheet metal mechanic.
Okay.
So I did all that good stuff.
You did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, after the trades, then, what does this get you up to?
Well, after the trades, I bounced a little bit. I started in between waiting, okay? I became a bread man one time.
What's that?
Vaughn Baking Company.
Okay.
Door-to-door bread sales.
Gotcha.
I'd never done it before in my life. They had a contest one time of selling, to win this silver tea set. If you sold the most donuts, you won this tea set. So that morning when I went out with my truck, the only thing I had in my truck was donuts.
Oh, yeah.
And all my customers got donuts in the morning.
I
didn't get them all back, and I won the tea set.
Do you still have it?
No, they got lost in the shuffle.
One of your ex-wives has it.
Yeah,
All
lost
right.
in the shuffle.
Let me ask you this. Any of the people that you were in the Marines with, do you have any contact with them?
One.
One guy.
There was another guy I kept in contact with. He's for the longest time. But the one guy I went to high school with, as a matter of fact, I'm going up next week to a class reunion of my sister's, and I'm going to stop and see him.
Oh, okay.
Go Modesto, Modesto Wine Company.
Oh, really?
Is
Is that connected?
Just a relative.
Just okay. Now, are you in any veterans organizations?
I used to belong to, matter of fact, a lot of American Legions, to VA clubs, and I got away from them.
Okay.
Now I just don't go out carousing anymore. When I used to go out partying and drinking and stuff like that, I'd go to the clubs.
Okay. Johnny, is there anything else you'd like to say? I mean, you got any tattoos you want to talk about or anything?
Never got one.
You didn't?
I got this one right here. That's Joe, and I got that in
Who is that?
11th grade of high school.
Joe.
Yeah.
Is that a Joe?
Yeah.
Okay.
11th grade of high school.
All right, but not in the Marines.
Well, I'll tell you, I came close. And when I seen a guy next to me getting this big eagle tattooed on his chest, right? And the blood just coming down. Now, I don't mind blood, right? I just wasn't drunk enough to get that eagle.
He was, but you were.
That's it. I'm out of here. So I never did get a tattoo after that.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to... do you still have your uniform?
No, I got lost in the shuffle.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
To who?
To your relatives that are going to be watching this 100 years from now.
Well, the only thing I could say to my relatives who will be watching this 100 years from now would be I tried real hard to learn everything I could learn about life and its values. And I tried to put them all together. Sometimes when you try real hard, it doesn't work that way. Speaking of my previous 2 marriages. But I've always told my sons and my daughters, regardless of your mother's and my differences, always remember one thing. You were made out of love.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's it.
Thanks a lot.
My
Thanks for
pleasure.
everything you did.
Okay.
Okay.